Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg, and today we're playing with a brand that I've only tried a little bit from, and by that I mean like one palette, and that is Adept Cosmetics. I went ahead and placed my first ever order with ifeelbeautiful.ca, which is a Canadian retailer, I think like the only Canadian retailer for indie makeup, and I've been dying to place an order with them and just try shopping through them for so long, and I finally did it because when Adept Cosmetics was releasing their emo palette, I just knew I had to get my hands on it. And while I was shopping for that, I picked up some other goodies too, one of them being another product from Adept Cosmetics. So if you're interested in seeing what else I got, then keep on watching. Alright, so as I probably gave away in the intro, the main thing that I was picking up and what I did grab was the Emo palette from Adept Cosmetics. This is the beautiful outer packaging. Just quickly noting, it's got like the little holes on the back so you can like pop them out because everything's magnetic. But when I saw this color story, I just knew I had to get my hands on it. I've only ever tried one palette and like therefore like one product from Adept Cosmetics before, and that was the Cyborg Choir palette, which I just absolutely love. So I knew I really wanted to try more color stories in their formula. And it's just, sometimes it's the timing, sometimes just the color story that they have out at the time just doesn't scream to me enough. But when I saw this one, I just knew I had to get it. So let me first just start off with showing this. So there is the stunning color story. I just absolutely love it. Just a great mix of mattes and super sparkly, special, some holographic, and definitely shifty shimmers, and I just can't wait to dig into them because I really love the formula that I tried with Cyborg Choir. It's interesting, like the layout always kind of seems to change a little bit with how they do it. I've seen some of their palettes where they have like all their mattes just in like the bottom row here and then all their shimmers on top. They normally are more shimmer heavy, which I don't mind as long as the selection of mattes is a good variation in selection, which I think this is. And then as you can see with this one, they're kind of just sort of scattered all around. I'm fine with it really either way. It doesn't really matter to me. I just think everything looks gorgeous and I can't wait to dig into it. So a little bit of information on this one. Like I said, I shopped through ifeelbeautiful.ca. Again, I've wanted to try shopping through them for quite a while. Just, you know, being in Canada myself, it's just nice to be able to support these brands by also supporting a Canadian company. And then also I don't have to worry about things like, you know, am I going to get charged customs? How much? The shipping's going to be like crazy. You know, it gets kind of a little intense sometimes trying to shop these brands that are based in other countries, generally more so the US, and having to pay so much extra money on top of it because I'm in Canada. On the ifeelbeautiful.ca website, as of right now, it's still available. Retails on their site for 109 Canadian. And they do have options like Sezzle and that if you want to do like installment payments or whichever, just whatever floats your boat. I don't remember exactly, like I guess I could pull up my receipt, whatever. I don't remember exactly how much shipping was, but coming from BC to Ontario, I believe it was between $20 to $30. So not crazy, not necessarily any cheaper. Like I'd almost love it if being in Canada and it being domestic that the shipping was a little bit cheaper. But like the cost of shipping's not really in the control of the company, it's just what it costs, and so that's what you're paying for. So although I hate putting a bunch of money into shipping, it is what it is. And I got 3 items in this order, so it kind of feels like it's spread out amongst that. What do they have to say? They describe the palette as being moody meets ethereal in this dramatic color story, which I feel like I would agree with that description. The palette includes multi-chromes, holochromes, duochromes, and multi-dimensional shimmers in a unique high pearl formula. Not really going to get into like all the, you know, specifics, but like I had said earlier, it was a magnetic palette, and it is cruelty-free and vegan. And then we're just going to jump over to, I thought I'd also, I have the Adept Cosmetics site pulled up as well in case you're going to be shopping directly through them, just so you know like what's available and all of that. And I do find the prices, even though like it generally should be about the same, because I Feel Beautiful.ca is kind of setting their prices in Canadian. Like, I think you can shop in your currency kind of thing, but like normally their baseline is that it's like Canadian whatever. I find sometimes other sites, because it's converting what's on the site, it can vary a little bit. Not terribly, but I do already see that there is a price difference between the two palettes from one versus the other. So on the Adept Cosmetics palette, it is still in stock, but it has a flag saying low stock, and it retails for $1.15 Canadian, so like $6 more. So not a huge difference. I don't think that, you know, probably makes a big deal if you want to shop one versus the other. Maybe the Adept site, you want to buy directly from them. Maybe they have, or if you're in the US, maybe it's better for you to buy directly from them then. Or they have some other products that, you know, aren't on the other site that you want to be able to get as well. So yeah, but that's kind of the breakdown of that. And then the other product I got, which we'll be trying in this video, is the Duality blush like face palette. This came out in their, what's it called, Unity bundle. Yeah, they had like a Unity collection. So there was this palette along with a eyeshadow palette, which I think it's called, is it called like the Unity eyeshadow palette? I'm totally like spacing. Yeah, it's the Unity eyeshadow palette, and then the Duality blush palette. So this is what she looks like. I just couldn't get over this color story. I just think this is so cool, like this ombre blush. I just love the shimmery tones to some of these, and I just loved, especially this one here, the tones to these blushes. So I kept looking at it and I couldn't resist, and I went for it. I paid, I'm pretty sure, like full price on ifeelbeautiful.ca. Like, I don't think it was on sale. They're all, let me pull it up. But right now, unfortunately, they're discontinuing that bundle. So Adept Cosmetics does have everything on sale. So the individual, like the palette, the eyeshadow palette, the blush palette, and then the bundle all are on sale. So if you're looking to pick those up, now would be a great time. One, because it's not going to be available much longer, and two, because they're on sale. So who doesn't like saving some money? And then I'm trying to pull it up on the Adept Cosmetics. So they have it for, I guess actually, like, it doesn't mark it as being on sale, but ifeelbeautiful.ca has it for 49 Canadian. So that's only $2 more than the sale price at Adept Cosmetics. And then Adept Cosmetics has it for 47 right now, Canadian, but normally it's 55 Canadian. So definitely a little bit higher normally. But yeah, I just couldn't, and it's still available on ifeelbeautiful.ca as well. But yeah, I couldn't wait to dig into this. So we're actually going to jump into this palette first. So I didn't specifically wear any like blushes or anything yet, because I knew that we were going to dip into this. So you'll have obviously seen swatches, but I want to jump in, and I'm pretty sure I want to jump in with this color here. I just kind of love sort of like the, I don't know, mauve meets lavender kind of a, I don't know how to describe this shade. It's Honey Never Spoils. That's the name of the shade, and I'm just picking up on this Morphe G4 angled brush, and we're just going to start putting that on. First time trying the blush formula from Adept, and I can say right now I am not disappointed. Definitely meets my pigmented blush love. Oh, love this shade. This is like a go-to shade. It was pretty much the shade that was like selling me on the whole palette, and then I just really liked the looks of everything else as well. So couldn't resist. Trying to make sure that these are even. It's nice and pigmented, but definitely you can also just like go in lightly and build it up, which is always good. Putting a little bit across the nose, especially when I do some freckles. I just like doing this. I feel like it makes everything kind of blend a bit more. And then I thought we would go in with a little bit of the sort of shimmery blush kind of topper thing here called Sometimes Violet. And I'm picking that up on this Melt Cosmetics highlighting brush. We're just gonna try to place this just sort of on the kind of upper cheekbones and that. Like, it's not light enough to like really be like just a full-on highlight, but it's also not deep enough to be like a blush. So I think it's just gonna add some extra sparkle in that too. That blush shade. And then we'll see later if we want to go in with like some highlight as well, but so far really loving that. And I guess I didn't comment yet, but like this packaging is probably one of my faves. It's got this gorgeous like kind of holographic purpley pink shifty base, and then it's got this like lace overlay, like actual like lace, and it's just so gorgeous, so beautiful. This is kind of the sort of packaging that I would treasure. So really kind of making me want to go get the eyeshadow palette. But let's move on. I don't want to drag this out too long, so we're gonna zoom you in and we're gonna start doing something on the eyes. All right, so you'll have obviously seen swatches already, but I have not done them yet. So I have not swatched any of these colors yet, but looking at it, I just, you know, definitely want to feed into the whole like kind of moody, ethereal vibe. So I think I'm gonna jump in first with Deep Abyss, which to me at least unswatched looks kind of like a dark gray, could be black, but I guess I'll find out once I start putting it on my lid. And I'm just grabbing that on this like packer brush. This is one that I definitely got in like an Ipsy, and it's really hard to read the brand, so unfortunately I'm not sure, and I don't know, but picking that up, like that looks pretty dark. Focusing on my face, but so this definitely could be like a full-on black. And we're just gonna start stamping that. Use that on the inner and outer just because definitely picked up a good amount of product. That looks pretty intense. Looks black to me, at least going on. And then our next shade that we're gonna jump in with, what do I want to use for this? I think we'll use this e.l.f. kind of packer brush, and I'm gonna jump into the shade Storm, which just looks like this like beautiful like bluish gray here. It's gonna be really pretty. Oh, I just absolutely love the Adept formula. Like, I guess like as much as I can say, like whatever, this is only the second palette that I've tried from them, but when I tried Cyborg Choir, I remember just being like blown away by the formula and the pigmentation in that, and I'm definitely feeling that with this too. So 2 for 2 in my mind. That kind of just really solidifies that that it's a solid formula. I'm really just kind of like placing right now, like we'll go back and like blend and stuff in a moment, but I just want to get the shades down. And then we're going to pick up, I don't like that brush, I think we're going to go with this. It's just like a small Morphe blending brush, and I think I'm pronouncing this right, Gray Bowl, but it's just this beautiful, to me it looks like a kind of smoky lavender. I don't know, in the viewfinder it was looking a little bit different, but definitely looks like a smoky light kind of lavender shade. We're just gonna go in and start using this to blend. I can't remember with Cyborg Choir if it had much of this. I definitely do notice like, not a ton, but like a decent enough amount of like dust, like a, I don't know why I can't think of the words right now, but it's a little bit messy, like when I dip in, kickback, or I don't know, fallout, whichever. I don't know why I can't think of words. I don't do makeup often enough anymore. I really need to like get back into the flow of stuff, but Just trying to find the time. I'm doing this instead of schoolwork right now, so that tells you something. Alright, I'm just gonna do that. And then I'm gonna pick up another fluffy brush, maybe find another kind of smallish one. This will work. This is, I think, from Real Techniques. Real Techniques base shadow brush, and we're just gonna jump back into Storm. Try to pick up a bit of that, and we're just gonna start blending this and make sure it blends into that light shade. Probably have to go back in with Grable again too, because I feel like I'm just gonna have to like finesse like the blend between those two, because the contrast is enough that it's not necessarily blending like uber smoothly, but I don't think that's like the shadow's fault, like the formula's fault. I just think like the contrast of the shades, it's harder to blend out like a medium deepish shade with like a pastel-y shade and not have as much and like have it be as like smooth. And I'm going to go back in with that first brush we used with Deep Abyss. I'm not actually picking up any additional product yet. There's just, I'm using what's left on the brush just to kind of like stamp up into that Storm shade a bit. In the inner corner here, I'm just going to pick up a tiniest little bit more. But we're just trying to like make sure the blend between those two. But just, oh, I love these moody tones. I am so here for it. Going back in with a little bit more of Grable. And just going on that. But even just like doing that tiny little bit, I feel like that already makes a huge difference. And definitely, I'm just going to pull this down a little bit. Because I feel like I end up leaning down and then I'm like going slightly out of frame. But yeah, something like that. And then I can't wait any longer. We are going to jump in to a shimmer. And I'm going to first put on some NYX glitter glue. I put this on with like all shimmers, so I'm always going to use it. So I don't feel the need to like try to do a look not putting it on. When I do like my swatches on my arm, I don't have like glitter glue or a base or anything. So if you want to see like what the shadows look like, not on top of a sticky base or on top of any kind of base, then see how they look on my swatches. But on my actual eyeball, I like to put something. I feel like I keep coming back to like the Backdraft shade. It's not what I thought I was going to go for. I thought for sure I was going to do something like Seafoam, but I just can't, I can't stop with this shade. I don't know, it's just really calling to me. Picking that up on my finger. That's how I've really enjoyed putting on a lot of shimmers lately, especially if I'm just doing like a look like this. Oh yeah. I'm going to attempt to, I should be probably using a smaller brush, but I went in with some black liner and now I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that Black Abyss shade and I'm going to try, I'm fine with it being smoky, I just don't want it coming halfway down my face, but I'm going to try to put some of that Black Abyss right here. And then I'm going to go with that brush that we used for Storm and try to smoke that out a little. I do this all the time where I end up going in with like bigger brushes and I'm like, I should have gone in with a smaller brush. And then I do it again. But whatever. And then I'm trying to decide, do I want to go with another shimmer or do I want to try to do a pop of a matte? You know what? No. I'm going to go with another shimmer and I think we're going to pull in, what do I want? I think we're going to go in with Whisper. Just looks like it'll be nice and fun and sparkly on the inner corner. Just like that. Fun. I think a pop of a matte would have been a lot of fun too, but I don't know. I just kept getting drawn in by this. So you know the drill. I'm going to go repeat this on the other eye and then we'll come out and we'll see the finished look. Alright, and here is the finished look. I decided to go lashless, like false lashless for this look. I just felt like throwing on some mascara, this look could really pull it off. So that's what I decided to do. I had some pulled out. I was going to put them on and I was like, no, we're just going to put on some mascara. And I'm happy and fine with that. I think the look looks great with that personally. So just to finish it off, I just threw on one of my favorite kind of like sort of lavendery nudish colors, and that is an oldie but a goodie. It's from NYX Cosmetics, and it is the lavender and lace in their suede matte lipstick formula. It's looking like extra emollient because I think I still had some lip oil on from before, because I always have something on just while I'm doing my makeup and I didn't think to wipe it off. And it's feeling like extra slick, but I'm okay with that. It's making this comfortable, and it's like nighttime. I'm gonna take this off soon anyways, so who cares? But if it's looking a little extra glossy than what you think the formula normally looks like, that's why. But yeah, I really had fun playing with these. So again, we had the emo palette, and we also played with the Duality blush palette, and I just can't wait to dig into these again. I have a feeling that this is going to be like a go-to staple no matter like what other products I'm using. And then I definitely will have to do something else with this. I don't want to make any promises on like a 3 looks 1 palette video, just because the last time I tried to do one of those, it took me like literally like 2 months to film it. But we'll see what happens. I also have another palette that I got with this order from another brand that I haven't tried before. So I'm definitely need to film with that. And then I was really bad, and while I was waiting for this order to even arrive, placed another order with them with another brand that I haven't tried, and so I'm waiting for that to come in. So we have 2 more new palettes that I've never tried on their way, so those are probably going to take up, you know, time first. And then if you all also haven't seen it already, I just posted my latest video, probably just the one that'll be before this, was my first ever doing like manga and makeup video. I wanted to do that, or I think I called it makeup and manga. Anyways, where I just do my makeup and talk about mangas that I've read, and it was just a lot of fun to do. So if you have any interested in that, I would love it if you check that out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, all the things. All of them help my teeny tiny little channel, and it just, you know, it's nice to just see you guys's engagement with it. I love the comments, I love having conversations. Yeah, I just love hearing about stuff. If you've tried Adept Cosmetics, like what's your favorite product, whether it's one of the eyeshadow palettes or something else from them. I know that they have this Duality blush palette, and I think they have 1 or 2 other face palettes. I'm pretty sure at least one of them was one that they did in collab with Amy Loves, which I would love to get my hands on her palette so bad. It's so gorgeous, and I wanted that so bad when it came out, but it just, the timing didn't work, and then there's just been a lot of other new stuff since then, so it sort of just kind of fell by the wayside. But maybe one day I'll get my hands on it. It's really stunning, and yeah, I'm sure that the shades are just as magical to work with as this. But yeah, I'm not going to ramble on too much longer. Again, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!